capable of being cut at any moment by accident or miscalculation or by madness. The weapons of war must be abolished before they abolish us.
Major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
With unlimited wealth also comes the potential for unlimited theft and extortion, easy money. Here we have some of the sharpest minds on the face of the planet orchestrating the takeover of the world economy. The corporations, the land, the productivity value of the people. We're going to be talking about the investment wealth that's built up within government, where government now owns it all by investment. The banks, the brokerage houses, the insurance companies, the Fortune 500 companies. Government is now bringing in more gross income than the population of the United States. When you look at the banks or the insurance companies, their number one investor, collective government. When you look at the total picture, government in 2007 brought in $14 trillion. The entire population of this country grossed, net after taxation, gross income of $5 trillion. The dollar is actually a zero-based currency. What that means is for every $1 that goes out into the population, it comes back in by taxation back into government. So 100% of dollars that go out is funneled back in through government, through taxation, little bit by little bit, one piece at a time. The population is being drained, their productivity drained by taxation. When you have property tax in a venue, you don't own your house. You're renting. Try not paying your rent on your property tax. You have a $5 million home, they'll come in and take it. In fact, they've set it up now where the mortgage companies and the banks are the tax collector. Your tax bill is included in with your mortgage. If you don't pay, they come in and foreclose on your house. No delay. This is extortion. And this documentary will be designed to show that based on what has developed in government, the total investment wealth amassed by government, there is no need whatsoever for taxation. None. Zero. We can phase out all taxation and make it disappear. One venue at a time. Any city, county, state, school district can be restructured under the same principle of operation to pay their ongoing budgetary obligations through what I call a TRF fund, tax retirement fund. Same as a pension fund, but instead of paying salary and benefits at retirement, it pays the ongoing budgetary obligations, so taxation is not needed. If you looked at the collective growth of government pension funds, local and federal combined from all, you're standing at about liquid assets of about $24 to $26 trillion in collective totals. On a TRF fund, it'll be designated that 60% of the investments take place in that local venue. Thus, an unlimited capital reinvestment in that local venue, zero unemployment rate, thriving businesses, no taxation. We now have more money for the public to spend, thus higher rates of return on the investments, thus providing more than ample revenue coming in for government to operate their normal budgetary basis. With TRF funds funding government, there is no real intent to grow, to overexpand in government. In fact, quite to the contrary, government now has the incentive to maintain within limitations, to downsize where appropriate, because the rates of return that are coming in are based on the prosperity of the population. The better the population is doing, the better the rates of return, more money coming in for government. Less money spent by government, the more there is for their own salaries, bonuses, and so forth. Gives them a very good incentive to downsize and not expand. So here you have the public and the financial cartels for the first time working together with the same common goal. The honest and ethical within government, who know taxation is wrong, and they've seen the unrestrained growth in government, the arrogance that is there within government, they're going to want to see the TRF funds also come into play. People kept asking me, well, who's taking the money? What accounts is it in? I said, it's the principle of operation. There's not one account. It's not who's directly stealing the money. It's where is that money invested? Any company can be made, a corporation, real estate project, period. That's where the power base. That's why you had the cooperation. That's why you had the silence. Syndicated media. 100% symbiotic partnership with government. Controlled education. 100% symbiotic relationship with government. Never repeat, never mention, never word. Total void maintained in the population's comprehension. Would you give your 15-year-old child carte blanche to write their own allowance check each week? No way. Anyone I've asked that question, I would never do that. And that's exactly what we've done with our own government. We've given them carte blanche to write their own allowance check. Whatever tax they can create, investment income from specialty investment funds, which the public doesn't even know exists, they would create this phenomenal income coming in from themselves by having carte blanche to do so. And they had to keep the public totally off in right field as they continue business in left field. If you poll the public, they think their elected officials or the managers within government, oh, they're stupid, they don't know what they're doing. They're real idiots. Wrong. The idiot would be someone who would say this. Here you have collective governments that are controlling trillions of dollars, taking half the productivity value of the entire population, and someone's going to call them stupid? I would call them extremely opportunistic. And we've allowed them to get away with it for the last 65 years. It's time we took back our country and created a structure that directly benefited we the people. The annual financial report or comprehensive annual financial report for government is their holy grail of accounting. Never talked about, never mentioned, never discussed because it showed the gross income, the investment wealth that was building, and showed the 1/3, as of 2000, 1/3 tax income that came in. Now, if you looked at a budget report, it looked like 100% was coming in from tax income, because that's what's shown on the budget report. Everything else was shown on the annual financial report. And this was intentional on government's part, because they knew if that void was filled and the comprehension was being gained by the public as to the growth and scope and size of government, the population would have stopped it decades ago. So, never a mention, never a peep, never a word. When you have a government that develops into this type of extortion of revenue, manipulation of revenue, non-disclosure, I have to qualify that as organized crime. Government is breaking the law through their massive non-disclosure by intentionally creating a vacuum and a void on their collective ownership. If a public corporation did that, all of the directors would be sitting in San Quentin after a 40-count SEC indictment. Here, city level, county level, state level, total vacuum, total silence, not a mention, not a peep, not a word. No comprehension, even disgust. Total refusal of our elected officials to even mention collective totals, total wealth, total investments. 65 years. It's easy to grease the skids and transfer the wealth and cut a deal here, cut a deal there. No one even knows the money is there in the first place. That's why government, not a peep, not a mention, not a sound. Silence is golden was government's rule over the last 65, 70 years. Talk about Janet Jackson or this, that, or the other thing over here and something non-consequential. And over here, let's see, in the 2008, government takes over $600 trillion in derivatives. They control the marketplace, cause the collapse, suck $15, $20 trillion out of the world economy into their investment fund accounts. On the other side of the trade, not a peep, not a mention. Silence is golden, as the public is masterfully entertained. Not to look, not even to comprehend, to think about it. That makes it very easy for the corruption. With the TRF fund application, we can revert the ownership back into the hands of the population, benefit the financial cartels, benefit government, benefit ourselves, creating a productivity through capital reinvestment of unequal proportions that will drive the economy for the next 1,000 years. And we will maintain our wealth and allow our wealth to build.